And today we are going to talk about how to use your hobbies to sell real estate. Good morning, Erik.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Like every third Tuesday of the month, Erik Hammond is here. We love Erik at Allison James. And why do we love Erik? Well, Erik background is real estate, but he is now into the digital marketing world on a digital marketing company called the Orange Stack. And it is very beneficial for us agents because we can communicate with someone who has real estate background and understand digital marketing, which I really believe it's priceless. Thank you, Erik, for being here today.
I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun being on the show and talking about real estate and marketing and just growing your brand and everything about you. So it's a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Some of your bets here, how many houses did you close in 1 year?
Our top year was 250. So it was a crazy year, a lot of clients, but yeah, 250 homes.
250 homes in 1 year. So whatever he's talking about, I will kind of listen to it.
That was a big number back then, but now people are selling like 400, 500 homes. So I don't know. There might be a new threshold we got to reach.
Yes. Now let's go back to how to use your hobbies to sell real estate. Great topic.
Yeah.
I was talking to an agent last week and we were talking about that. And he said he does not like to talk about business when he's doing something outside of work. Yeah. He does not like to mix business and personal life, which I think it's kind of wrong because it's a perfect spot to meet new people, have new relationship, and grow your business. What's your opinion on that?
I see his point for sure, because it is hard to mix business with your family and all that kind of stuff. And I totally appreciate the people who want to keep their kids out of social media and everything, completely agree with that. But there is a side of you that's personal. Like, you're human. You're not Apple, and you're not these big companies that don't have a person behind them. You're you, and you got to play off those strengths. And there's so many things that make you who you are, unique and interesting and personal and relatable. And I think that's what we're going to get in today, is how to tie all these passions in your life to connecting with other people that you meet.
And what would you want to use your hobbies to sell homes?
So I think the thing that I think about most is think about what you're passionate about. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I like because I know me, and I know some of the things that you like. So we'll talk about you for a second too. But whatever your hobby is, kind of feel how we can relate this, right? So Jessica, you love art, you love painting, you love being outdoors, you love hiking, you love your dogs, you love your kids, you have passions in life. Me too. I love cars, I love houses, I like construction, I like surfing, I like being with my kids. These are all things that you can play off of. So let's take hiking, for example. Let's say we're out on the trail and we've got our granola bars, we've got our bags packed, and we're ready to go and go climb whatever mountains out there, right? And you're on the trail and you're seeing people, and maybe you're just like, all right, I got to pull over and stop here for a second. And you're going to see somebody. What's the first thing you're going to ask? How are you? Where are you from? How's the hike today? Where are you guys going, right? You're going to start that conversation. And it's that small talk that starts and it builds that relationship. But after that, maybe you keep hiking together. Maybe you get to know them a little bit more. This is kind of how friendships are built. Eventually, you're going to have the opportunity to ask more about, where they live and what they're doing and, what do you do for work, and tell me more about you. I've found that as you make it the conversation about them, they're going to love it because you're focusing on them. People love to talk about themselves. And if you can make the conversation about them, they're going to open up. They're going to share so much with you. For example, I just went to a marketing seminar this last week, and it wasn't for real estate. It was just for marketing. I met 4,500 people at this event. It was huge. It was a fantastic event. And all these people were so into themselves and talking about themselves, and I got to know a ton of people. But it was fun because I was able to build these relationships with these people and learn more about them. So you're saying, how do I pivot that into selling a house, right? Here's the mystery. So as you are on your hike and you're finding out about people and you're learning more about what it is you do, all you have to do is learn more about them. And by default, they're going to come back and talk to you about what it is that you do. And this is your chance to say, I'm in real estate. I sell homes. I'm passionate about helping people find their dream home. And now you know everything about what it is that they do, where they live, what they're looking for. And you could say, have you had any thoughts of selling your home? Is there some time in your life that you thought about upgrading that life and doing something different with it? So that's kind of the quick version of it. But basically, yeah, just learning more about who they are and what they do.
And I don't think, when we said use your hobbies to sell, it doesn't mean go somewhere and try to sell and just go ahead and do like sell yourself. No, you can just
Correct.
have a small talk. Asking question is important.
Yes.
Listening to the people so you can analyze them. And
Yes.
no, you don't have to tell them right away, hey, I'm a real estate agent, you want to sell? No, just build a relationship and it will come along in the long term. Maybe not that day, maybe in a week from now, right? You don't have to sell yourself. You want to wait and build that relationship first.
Yeah. I think most people by default, they're going to get to that point in the conversation. We say, hey, how are you? Good, I'm fine. That's cool. What do? You don't know what else to say. So you just go straight to work. And I think that's the problem. I was on the airplane coming home and the same thing happened. I kind of ran out of things to say because the lady I was sitting next to just didn't have a lot of common interest with me. And so I was trying to fight for what else to say before I went straight into what I do. But that's the point of your hobbies and your passion, is because you're so excited about it and they're excited about it, you're going to have a lot to say. Tell me more about where you hike and what kind of shoes you have on, and tell me about that backpack that you're wearing, and have you been anywhere fun to travel and hike? So by default, you're going to have so many other conversations about the things that you're interested in. That's where that relationship's built before you bring up anything to do with business.
Tom Richard is here. Good morning, Tom. How are you? Tom said that 70% of your business comes from Sphere. Yes, I totally agree with that. That's where the business is. Now, do you think people, so let's say on a hike, comparing to networking, like a happy hour might be different. Do you think sometimes us as real estate agents, we should be more prepared before we go to a networking and know what kind of question to ask that could lead to a lead?
Yeah, that's a great point. You might go to a real estate networking group or some other type of a networking group that's outside of a whole bunch of agents meeting together. And you have that opportunity to start asking questions, and again, a lot of you without questions in your back pocket to know what to ask, you're going to go straight to, this is what I do. And you're going to want to talk about yourself because you don't know what else to ask them. So try to have, 5 go-to questions that you can ask everybody that you meet. Tell me, this is a great acronym. I like it. So there's 4 parts to it. It's the FORD acronym. So tell me about your family and friends, F, right? Like people will talk forever about their family and friends. Oh, tell me about your occupation. Tell me about work and what you do and why you got into that and where you went to school, all those kind of things. Your R, tell me about the recreation that's in your life. Do you like to hike? Do you like to get outdoors? Do you like to do kind of things like that? And then D is your dreams. Tell me about your dreams. What are you excited about these next couple of years? What are you trying to do? What are some goals that you want to do? Where are you trying to travel to? So if you can kind of focus on those FORD acronym, there's going to be tons of conversations that you're going to be able to have just from that without getting into anything about you.
Yes, and I really believe it's not even about the product. Doesn't matter if it's selling a home or doing anything else. It's really not about the product. It's about the connection and the conversation and how you listen to that client. Yeah. And I mean, not just asking questions, really listening and analyzing what they're talking about. And when you see them a week later and you can remember the name of the dog, it's priceless, right?
It is, yeah.
I'm sold. I want to use him as a real estate agent because he can't remember the name of my dog or my kids. Wow, that's pretty good. Hey, how's your dog doing? How's your kids doing? Wow, that's priceless. More than, oh, I'm great. I'm a great real estate agent. You should use me as a real estate agent.
Yeah, yeah. And if you focus and make it about them, they're going to feel listened to and heard and appreciated. Versus the other side. Like this last week, I met so many people who just me, and all they talk about is themselves. They never once ask what I do. They never once ask, how's your time here? Where are you from? Tell me about your family. And I wasn't offended because I know that most people talk that way. But it's interesting to see, the people that are concerned with you and ask you questions, you feel so much more connected to them.
So do you have some kind of script or bullet point you prepare yourself before you go to networking or doing one of your hobbies? Do you know exactly how to approach people?
It depends.
It's my hobbies, but I'm working and my goal is to get connected.
Yeah, and I hate to say it this way, but every time you go to a networking event or some type of a place where more people are going to be there that you've never met, you should have the intention of getting out of your comfort zone, talking to new people, trying to meet maybe 5 new people that you've never met before, getting a name and a number, connecting on Facebook. Facebook makes it so easy where you just type in their name when you're on your search page and then you can find them, connect with them, send them a quick message, things like that. So while you're there, again, have these, acronyms in your mind and just think of, what are some good ways that I can ask this question? Again, tell me about your family, where did you grow up and why did you end up here and what brought you to where you are right now? And if you've been around here your whole life, tell me what are some of the things that you've done in this life and just, kind of work through those conversations. I wanted to get into a little bit too about, where you meet these people. Meetup is a great platform to find.
Question, Erik.
Sorry.
Oh, no. What am I going to do now? You don't need me anymore.
I'll just run this.
If you have any question for Erik, go ahead, type your question. We're here, we're live. We'll be happy. He will be happy to answer your question. Not me, of course.
Do you have any other comments we can get into real quick?
Connect with.
So, good question. Meetup again is a great platform. You basically just go to meetup.com. You say, I want to look up hiking, or I want to look up art, or I want to look up baking, or anything that has to do with anything that you're interested in. There's so many categories on there to find things, and they can be free. They could cost $20. It really depends on what you want to do. Another one is the Facebook events. There's so many people who post Facebook events in your area. So, for me, I try to find things that I'm interested in because, again, if I show up to something that I'm not interested, I don't know what to talk to these people about. If I went to an event that had nothing to do with my hobbies, it's going to be hard for me to carry on a conversation. For me, I'm super interested in old cars. So I have an old Volkswagen. It's 52 years old this year, and it's just something that I'm super excited about. So I go to these old Volkswagen car shows, and I meet these people, and some of these dudes are super rough, like tattoos all over, like crazy hair, and just nuts. They don't look like me, but we can find tons of things in common. It's like all I have to do is look at their car and say, oh, tell me about the engine, and did you do this yourself, and how long have you had it, and do you have any more? And it just strikes up this conversation. So go to those things where you can easily connect with people who might be outside of your normal realm and find ways to connect with them and just start asking them about their hobby or what they're working on. And the conversation is just going to flow. And before you know it, they're going to start asking more about you and what you do.
I really believe too that I know some real estate agents, sometimes they don't have hobbies. You'll find these agents that I'm too busy. I have a family and I have to work and I don't have time for myself. No. They should have a hobby plan on their weekly action plan. It should be mandatory. It should be like 100% your health to get away from your work and your family. I love my family and my work. It's good to be alone. So it's good for your mind. It's good for yourself, and it can brings you business. It should be something that real estate agent add to their weekly action plan. Said, okay, every Wednesday at 10 a.m., I'm going hiking, or I'm going to network, some kind of network, but something that you love. Because at the end of the day, yes, you can get more business, but it's also for yourself and your well-being.
Yeah. Well, the best part of it is it's technically prospecting. And if you said every day of the week, I need to prospect for an hour, this is a form of prospecting, right? Let's say you're into yoga and you say, okay, every Wednesday I'm going to yoga at 8 a.m. and I'm going to be there for an hour and I'm going to talk to everyone in that room and get to know them. That's prospecting. You're connecting with them. So don't feel guilty about these kind of things. Be there and connect with them and build those relationships. You got your finger up. What is it?
Well, I don't talk during yoga.
You don't do yoga?
No, you can't talk during yoga.
You can talk after when they're changing and wiping the sweat off their face.
Because it drives me nuts when people are talking during yoga. It's like, why are you talking? It's yoga.
All right. Bad example.
Silence is golden, Erik.
Go out and go surfing. Go skiing. Go find something outdoors, right? Go ride your bike, whatever it is. Find some way to connect to people. That's prospecting, though. And it's fun prospecting. It's better than picking up the phone and calling for sell-by owners and circle calling and all that kind of stuff. Make it fun.
It is. Make it fun. Minimum 2 hours a week.
Yeah. And shuffle it up. Find something to do every week. It'll be crazy. You'll see what it does for you.
How do you make sure to get the contact? Now, I know when I was an active real estate agent, I used to do a trick where I always had these recipes from my grandmother, or because I love to cook. My background is food and beverage. So I used to always find a way to get the email to share with them my recipe. I used to find a way to talk about food and said, oh, if you give me your email, I'll share with you my grandma recipe. And bim, I have the email and I could start.
Kind of froze.
Oh, I am.
Still there?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Now we're good. Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay. Where do we stop? I said, when I was a real estate agent, I used to come up with couple trick like, I'm giving you something in value. So I used to share with people my grandma tomato, spaghetti and tomato recipes. And they used to give me an email and I used to send them the recipe of my grandma. And after that, I'll send a lot of things about real estate. So
flip that around. You came with giving, which is great because you're providing value, but not everybody wants to receive, but they love to give. People love to give. So what if you turned around the other way and said, okay, I'm going to go hiking this weekend, right? And I'm going to go find somebody on the trail that I can connect with. Maybe it's 5 people, whatever it is. So you're out there, you purposely run into somebody and you talk to them and you get excited and, you know, how old are your kids? Great. And tell me about where you hike. Great. You know what? And this is how it goes. You know what? We're looking for some new trails around here. Have you ever been on a trail that does this or this or this? You know, maybe that's around water, or maybe it goes around the beach. Great. You know what? Let's connect on Facebook. Would you mind sending me the name of that trail so that I can find it? And now you've connected, and now you're friends on Facebook, and now you can reach out to them and you can follow up with them. So find a way to get something from them that they can give to you. And now you have that bond.
That's it. Give something or find a connection, which there is no way you cannot find a connection because you're having a hobby in common.
Yeah.
You need to find something to connect.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Erik, I don't have any more questions for you. Is there anything you want to go over?
So I've got one other story, and I'm saving this for last. It's a fun one. So again, I love cars. I buy a lot of cars. I sell a lot of cars. I'm one of those guys that just changes cars quite often. And so this is kind of a fun story. I used to have a shirt. When we first got into real estate, I would buy houses for rental properties, and I was flipping homes. So I had a shirt that says, in big letters, it would say, "I'll buy your house," right? And it was cold and I had a jacket on and all this kind of stuff. So you couldn't see my shirt that day. But we go to the dealer and we're talking to the dealer and we're looking at cars and, you know, he's trying to find this truck that we were looking for. And he's, you know, behind his computer and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, it's that awkward moment where there's not much left to say about the car. And he's like, you know, what do you guys do for work? And he goes straight to the work question. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad you asked. You know, I'm in real estate and I help people buy and sell homes. And I open my shirt and I pull it open. I'm like, actually, we buy people's houses. And he's like, oh, that's cool. I'm actually thinking about selling my house. And I was like, oh, tell me more, you know? So he's like, oh, we've lived in this little house and we're doing this and this and this. But my wife doesn't want to be in the neighborhood anymore. So he's like, we're out. And I said, oh, you know, so you've thought about selling it? He's like, we would love to sell it. And so he goes on this conversation. And anyway, we kind of wrap up the car, what we were looking for. And anyway, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to push you, but if you're interested in talking more about selling your house, I would love to come take a look at it and just see what it is that you have to offer. He's like, great, I'm off Wednesday. Come over Wednesday. We can meet. So I set up an appointment. We went over there Wednesday, shows me around the whole house. And I ended up buying his house as one of my rental properties. And it's just because I was available to talk to him and I was showing an interest in him and he, you know, back and forth. And it's just being in those places where you can have those conversations. So that set off my path to buy a bunch more rental properties from there. And again, it's just because you're in the right moment, you have that connection, and you're willing to share and open up with people.
I love it. We're so busy these days with technology and new tech company and new tech tool, which we do need it, but I think we need to go back to the old school, which is connecting with people. I think you can't beat that. We need to be out there. We need to have hobbies. We need to connect with people, and we need to do it every week. And if you look at your week this week, to all real estate agent that is watching the show, look at what's going on in your week. And if you are not having any hobbies, you're not connecting with people, you're losing business, period.
Yeah.
Business.
Yeah. So go find a cooking class to take, go to sporting events, go take your dog on a walk, go sign up for a yoga class, go get out and do fun things. And if you've never done it before, try something you've never done. It's going to be incredible.
And there's a lot of free hobbies you can get access. Like you said, meetup.com. I think I belong to like 15 different groups and I don't do anything.
Yeah.
Awesome. Erik, thank you. I know we have a new product coming out in a couple of weeks, which is a digital marketing concierge service.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. It's going to be offered to Allison James agent first. And the product offer a one-time 30-minute social media audit.
Yep.
And the agents will have access to you every Thursday at 11 a.m. You're going live and you can answer any question that the agent have regarding digital marketing and marketing. This is great. This,
Yeah,
this is
it's
great.
been fantastic. Yeah, it's fun talking to you guys on the phone for 30 minutes. We talk about your marketing, we talk about your website, we talk about where you're stuck and how it's going, and how you can automate a lot of this stuff. And then, like you said, it's one on many, but it's a group kind of coaching call. We talk about different platforms. We talk about different ways to put yourself out there, different ways to use social media to build your business. And it's incredible because it's a private Facebook group that you can be part of. All the calls are recorded. We've already done 20 plus classes in there. So you have all the backlog of content to go back and watch. You get your questions answered. We can share my screen. We can go through projects, whatever you want to do. It's been a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
And that's a support that real estate agent do needs it these days.
Yeah. Because things change, right? Stuff comes up.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah.
The product should be available to Allison James agent in less than 2 weeks and open to the public after April. We can't wait to all have access to the product. Erik, thank you very much.
Yeah, I see that there's some comments. Did we get to all the questions, or is there anything else?
Yes,
I don't want to miss anybody.
We have Tom in Temecula who's here. We have Kathy in Temecula who's here. Roxy who's watching us. And they're all saying great things. No question.
Okay. Get your questions.
No question. I'm looking at no. But thank you, Tom. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Shannon. Even Shannon is here, is watching us. And thank you, everyone, for watching the show. And we will see you next week. Erik,
bye, guys. Thanks for being here.
Bye-bye.
Bye.